It's getting to be that time of year. Kings Island's Winterfest is about to open up this weekend, and we have an entire video to give you all the information you need in case you plan on attending this year. Welcome to another Beach Cliff Studios video. If you find this video informational, fun, entertaining, whatever, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you have not already. So now that we got that stuff out of the way, let's get into this video. It's going to be everything that you need to know about Kings Island Winterfest, because this year in 2024, there are some big changes that you may or may not have heard of. For starters, the dates and times. It starts this Friday, November 29th. They're open Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays through most of the season until New Year's Eve. And their hours are 5 to 10 Fridays and Sundays, and 4 to 10 on Saturdays. But they are open all week, the week before Christmas, and open all week the week of Christmas, except for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. So keep that in mind. If you have some time off of work or school or whatever, you can get to Kings Island and enjoy it all week long. Now, to start off, we will say we highly recommend this event. We've gone every year since 2018. Keep in mind, they do have limited ride availability, but they have all sorts of things to make up for it. Lots of lights, lots of shows, parades, stuff like that, and then some extra things like slides and stuff. Now that you know the dates and times that it's going on, you need to know how to get in. If you are a season pass holder, you can definitely use your season pass to get into the park. If you don't have a season pass, you can buy an individual ticket. They range anywhere from $20 to $50, depending on any kind of bundle. If you just want the general ticket with admission, or if you want a bundle that includes things like meal vouchers and stuff like that. Now, once you are in the park, all the rides and activities and everything is free, except for a couple little things. And one major thing is Snowflake Lake, the huge fountain area that they have in the front of the park that turns into an ice skating rink for Winterfest.
Yeah, that is an upcharge, and it is what, $20?
I think it's about $20 or so. I can't find it online, and we've never actually done it, but I'm pretty sure the price is $20 per person.
Yeah, so like you said, they just, it's basically just a big ice skating rink where the fountains are on International Street, and it does get very busy. Like a lot of people do it, so keep that in mind.
If you're going there and you're looking for shows, you will not be disappointed. Starting at 5:30, they have a tree lighting ceremony. The Eiffel Tower in the front, they have it decorated as like a big Christmas tree. So that and all the lights throughout the park go on, flick the switch, and they have a little countdown and everything at 5:30, so you can go to that. Every day at 8:30, they have a parade, and we always check out the parade.
Yeah, it starts off in Area 72 and then goes down Coney Mall and then goes through International Street. So that's always a cool, just Christmas-themed parade.
And at the very end, they have Santa. They have Santa coming in, and he comes and says hi, and we always say, "Hey, Santa," and everything. We're like...
That's what we do. We say, "Hey, Santa."
Like in 2018, we said, "Hey, can you announce a new Giga here at Kings Island next year for us?" And then the next year, Santa brought us our Christmas present, and they built Orion in 2020. So if you ask for stuff from Santa, you will get it. So besides that, they do have different like singing groups and stuff throughout the park. They have the Yuletide Follies, Swinging into Christmas. They have different shows like that. And then they also have where you can bake cookies or something with Mrs. Claus and stuff like that, and write letters to Santa, drop those off in case you can't scream out to Santa, in case he can't hear you or whatever during the parade. Always write a letter, drop that to Santa. Tons of stuff for the kids, and even adults can get into some of this stuff, like all the music and that. Or you may go to Kings Island for the rides. If you go all summer or all fall, you definitely go mostly for the rides. And the ride lineup does not disappoint. It's always been Mystic Timbers and Flight of Fear, which turns into Flight of Cheer, with a whole lot of flat rides, including Shake, Rattle, and Roll, Scrambler, the Antique Cars.
Yeah, Dodge 'em.
Yeah. All your favorite flat rides most of them are open for the event. So there's never been like a shortage of things to ride. But this year, they are expanding on that for the first time ever. And I think this is going to make the event like just take it from level here all the way up.
Yeah, so they're going to be adding, in addition to having Mystic Timbers and Flight of Cheer, they're going to be having Racer and Snoopy Soapbox Racers open for Winterfest.
And since we're talking about rides and we talked about the parade earlier, a little tip for you guys. If you're really into the rides and not really into the parade, You can go to some of the rides during the parade, and the lines do drop down a little bit.
Yeah, a lot of people go to see the parade, so if you want to ride stuff with some shorter lines, that is definitely a good time to go when that parade is happening.
And if you want to have a shorter wait, new for this year, they're adding Fastlane to Winterfest. Now, every single year that we've gone, they take the Fastlane lines and turn them into single rider lines. And we've never been completely happy about that. We've always been like, okay, we wish that we could use our season-long Fastlane.
Yeah, because lines do get long. And if you're going and wondering how long the lines are for rides, you might be thinking a lot of people are doing other stuff. No, the lines will be long. Like Mystic Timbers, we've waited an hour or so for it, right?
Easily,
or like 45.
yep. Yeah, easily an hour. Yeah.
So yeah, lines for the roller coasters will be long. So keep that in mind. But like you were saying, they are adding Fastlane for this year because before they had the single rider line, which was always shorter, obviously, but it was just kind of, I don't know, it's kind of weird. But now they're adding Fastlane, which I think makes more sense.
Well, especially as soon as we heard that they were going to add more coasters, the first thing that I thought is maybe they're going to add Fastlane, and I was a little uncertain. Maybe they will, maybe they won't, but I was thinking that it would make sense because some other Cedar Fair parks did it, like Carowinds, when they added Fury 325 to their Winterfest lineup a couple years ago. They added Fastlane to it, which they didn't have Fastlane before that. So they probably figured we can't really sell Fastlane for like 2 roller coasters and some flat rides.
Yeah.
That probably wouldn't really go over too well. But now that you have Snoopy Soapbox Racer, and Great Pumpkin Coaster also, Kiddie Coaster.
Yeah, great.
Mystic Timbers and Flight of Cheer.
And
now you have 4 different roller coasters that all have Fastlane that you could use it for.
and then like you said, Great Pumpkin Coaster is open, which is their smallest coaster. So technically 5, and a very small kiddie coaster if you have little kids that want to ride, or if you want the credit. But Fastlane is going to be a lot less, right?
The price is $35 on Sundays and $40 on Fridays and Saturdays.
Which is a lot less than it is on a normal operating day.
Yeah, it's pretty cheap, but again, you get a lot less coasters and rides to choose from. I think all the rides that normally have Fastlane will be available for Fastlane at Winterfest. So the complete ride lineup for Fastlane, in case you're wondering: Boo Blast, which is one of our favorite things. It's a shooting dark ride. Cargo Loco, Dodge 'em, Flight of Cheer, Franklin's Flyers, Antique Cars, Mystic Timbers, The Racer, Scrambler, Shake, Rattle, Roll, Snoopy Soapbox Racers, Snowworks Sledding Hill. Now this is just a little hill that they set up. It's maybe like 20 or 30 feet tall or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it's taller than that, I think.
Is it tall?
I don't know how tall it is, but it's an action zone and you just sled down it. It is fun, but does get a pretty long line.
At times, yeah, we've waited some pretty hefty lines, so that thing has a Fastlane, and Soul Spin and Zephyr. So those are the rides that will be available for the Fastlane if you decide to buy one, or if you have a season-long Fastlane and you are heading down there. Now, since we go so much and we've been there so often, I think that we have some tips that we can give. One thing, if you are going for the rides, rope drop, whatever your favorite ride would be, Mystic Timbers, usually is what we rope dropped every single year. But Flight of Cheer does get a very, very long line. So if you go straight there, that wouldn't be a bad idea because that thing gets a crazy line. So if you don't have Fastlane, not planning on purchasing it, you would want to go maybe straight to Flight of Cheer and skip the lighting ceremony, because the lighting ceremony is okay, but the lights go on and you can see all around the park. You can see that the lights are on.
Yeah, we've never actually been to that lighting ceremony. Yeah, you can see the tower, the Eiffel Tower light up, obviously, because it's really tall. But you don't get to see the countdown. But yeah, we've never gone to that lighting ceremony before.
We always head straight to a ride and get on a coaster, and right away you always get on something pretty quickly. Like we've always chosen Mystic Timbers.
Yeah,
we always got on within like a couple minutes.
Yeah.
Another tip that we have is don't skip on their New Year's Eve celebration, because we went for the first time last year, and I will tell you it is a lot of fun. They are open until midnight, so from 11 to midnight they shut down the rides at 11, and then They basically, everyone kind of gathers around like the main stage in front of the Eiffel Tower. They start playing music. People are dancing. Mm-hmm. They give you some party favors, some like noisemakers and some hats.
Yeah, and this is all part of Winterfest. It's just obviously on New Year's Eve they have all the New Year's themed stuff, but everything else is still everything else about Winterfest is still the same.
So a tip that we would have if you have access to get there on New Year's Eve, highly recommend it. Definitely a fun atmosphere and something fun to do. Another tip that I can think of is take advantage of their heaters. They have some tall heaters strewn throughout the park, so you can definitely go warm up your hands. We definitely recommend taking gloves because it can get very cold, especially on rides. If you don't have any gloves or anything like that, or if you aren't dressed completely for the occasion, they do have some heaters, and it does warm you up pretty well.
Yeah, and then they have, what is it called? They have that big hall with the stage. Fest House.
Fest House, yep.
Yeah, that they have, that's a big building with some restaurants and a stage and a bunch of seats. That is definitely a place to go if you want to warm up a bit.
And it does get kind of packed, so if you get in there, even if you're going in there for like 5-10 minutes or something, just to get out of the cold and get warmed up, that is definitely good advice. They have lots of the shops that are open, so you can kind of sneak in there, get out of the cold for a little bit. So there are some things that can get you out of the cold, but for the most part, you are out at an amusement park, which is mostly outdoors. So Boo Blast is another thing that you can get inside and get out of the cold and get out of the wind and stuff like that.
There's definitely plenty of heated buildings, but it never, like we've gone, I don't think we've ever gone when it's been too cold. I mean, it's definitely been cold.
Like around 30 degrees is the coldest that we've been there.
Yeah. So it's cool. Like riding Mystic Timbers one time, it was a very light snow on Mystic Timbers, and that was very cool. So if it is a light snow, get a ride on Mystic Timbers because it is a lot of fun.
So that is it for this video. Thank you for watching. Like we said earlier, thumbs up, comment, subscribe. Huge shout out to all our channel members right here. These people help out the channel so much. And in return, they get shout outs, exclusive videos, pictures, stuff like that. So that is it for this video. Hope you found it entertaining and useful. And we'll see you guys next time right here on Beach Cliff Studios. See ya.